Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we will complete our first and third lab. Okay, we will make our data volume, which will be the second drive in our domain controller, which will name or give it a letter D. Okay, this will be made from four hard disks. Okay, we will have it configured as RAID 10. Okay, by the way, there is no there is no something called RAID 10. It's actually RAID 1 plus RAID 0. Okay, so what is RAID 1 and what is RAID 0? I have something like this. Okay, first of all, we have four hard disks. Each two we will put it on a storage space or a storage pool. So we will have two storage pool contains two hard disks as RAID the first RAID and two hard disks at the second RAID 1 and RAID 1. And then okay, we will take both of them and make it as RAID 0. Okay, we will see this in the lab, but actually RAID 1 we will take two and make it as a RAID 1, and the other two will make it as a RAID 1, and then we will make both of them as a stripped volume. Okay, we will see this in the lab. Okay, first of all, what is the difference between RAID 0, or what is the advantages of using RAID 10 in specific? RAID 10, first we can put it in two ways. First, we will see the advantages of working with RAID 0. RAID 0, we will see the data is written in consequence. For example, the first volume or first hard disk will contain the first part of the data, and then the second part of data will be on the second hard disk, and then the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, seventh, and eighth, like in the diagram. What is the advantages of this? It's increased performance, as we see here in the website. It contains read and write speeds, increased performance, but there is no redundancy. If one of them failed, all of the data cannot be retrieved. And as for the mirror, okay, all of the data are duplicated. It's written twice, first on the first hard disk and then on the second hard disk it is written again. This makes it more redundant, okay, but it is costly, because you have to buy two hard disks and you will lose half of the space. For example, if you are configuring, for example, have two hard disks, each one is, for example, 300 gig, then you actually working with 300 gigs only, and the other 300 gigs for the second hard disk will be at the mirror. So instead of using 600 gigabytes, you're only using 300. So when these two RAIDs are combined, you will get much better performance. You will get high performance read and write, and in the second, and you will have also a full redundancy. So this is the advantages of using hard disk RAID 0 plus RAID 1, RAID 1 plus RAID 0. So we now go to the lab. Okay, here is the video. Sorry for the interruption. Now we will begin the lab. As I said before, I have recorded the lab from previously before working with this video, because I am doing it in two formats, in English and in Arabic. So I am just recording it without audio, and then I will begin commenting on each video twice, once in English and once in Arabic. Okay, now from the previous lab, we have already made the mirror for the first hard disk or the operating system. So now we are having mirror 1 on the domain controller hard disk operating system. So now we are opening we have powered on the virtual machine. Okay, I'll just pause the video because it takes some time until it boots. Okay, now we are put the password. Okay, there is a PDF. I also searched the internet how to make RAID 10, because it's by default. It's not there in Windows. You can make in Windows RAID 5 or RAID 6, I think, but RAID 10, it's as I said, it's a combination of two RAIDs, RAID 1 plus RAID 0. So we'll make first RAID 1 and then we'll make it as RAID 0, and we'll work by this process through storage pool. Okay, storage pool means that you take two hard disks in one pool or in one box. Let's say that, and then they are treated as one unit, okay? And you tell him in this storage pool to make mirror, and we'll make another storage pool for the two hard disks. We'll make it in one pool, okay, and then we'll make it as a mirror, and then we'll make another storage pool and put the remaining two hard disks, and also we'll make it mirror. And after that we will make as I said, the storage pool is treated as one unit, so we'll make the first storage pool and the second storage pool as RAID 0. And when we make the storage pool, every two hard disks will be mirror. We will see this in the lab. I don't want you to make it more difficult for you. We will see it now. If you wait for a second, we will make it. First of all, when I got the PDF for making the RAID 10, it was for Windows 10. So when I try to see the storage spaces, it's called storage spaces, not storage pool. So I didn't find it in Windows Server 2019. So I opened the Google Chrome and search how to get this option. So I found it, but it was in another place. It was in local server. Okay, it's something called storage pool. The same concept, storage space like storage pool. And it took me some time because when I'm trying to make the pool, I didn't know how to make it mirror first, and I took all the, when you ask me when you make mirror how much space you need to make mirror hard disk, I tell him to take all the space, but this was wrong. We have to take only half the space so he can make a complete mirror. So you will find in the lab that I am a little bit confused in the first, and I delete the pool and create it back, but in the end, how to do it, you have to make the storage pool and then put the two hard disks, and then he will ask you how the space. You take half of the space and then make it as a mirror. After you create the pool and tell him to get mirror, you will create the volume. This is the volume that will be used, okay? And repeat this process when making the second pool, okay? And then work with them. First of all, the hard disks are not online yet. We have to make them online and initialize it. We will see also in the lab. Actually, I know I'm talking too much, but we will see it now. We are just initializing first, make the hard disks online, and then we'll make it initialized for the 4 hard disks. Each one of them is 20 gigs. Okay, we now open the server manager to get the storage pool. It's named in Windows 2019 storage pool, not storage spaces, but it's the same function. So I will get to the local server. And under it, there will be some storage pool, but wait a second. First, I didn't know where to get this menu, but it is under local server. You have to wait a couple of seconds until... No, it's not under local server, it's under File and Resource Manager. It will appear now. Just yes, in File and Storage Services. It will appear after a second, but I'm just confirming this from the PDF, sorry, from the website. Okay, now the File and Storage Services. And then the storage pool. We will find here, we will find 4 hard disks. Okay, this 4 hard disks on the right, we have 4, everyone is 20. We'll take the first 2 and put them in one storage pool. Okay, right click and make a storage pool. First I had, because there is a difference between what I saw in the PDF for creating RAID 10 and the menus is different, but took me some time to figure it out. Okay, now storage tool. Okay, storage pool. Tell him next. Okay, we'll give the pool a name. And by the way, you can do RAID 1 and RAID 10 if you have an HP server or Dell server. This is done before even installing the system. It can be done through the HP tools. It's much more, if you're working with a hardware mechanism, making RAID and RAIDs, it's much more better than making software. But actually, because I can simulate the server, the HP server tools, so I'm making it from the Windows. And if you don't have much or your budget is tight, you can make it through the software, but it's much more better if you make it through the hardware. Smart LA solution from HP or Dell. Just I'm revising what I saw from how to do the storage pool. And before that, I prefer also, like the previous lab, to take a snapshot. Okay, we said before that taking a snapshot in VMware, it's like taking a full backup with Acronis, or like making a system restore point, but actually more precise, it's like taking a full backup or using an Acronis or something like this. So now I'm just trying to see the original PDF, because actually we are going on the steps from the PDF but with different menus. So I'm just trying to see what he is asking. There is two-way mirror in the pool. In the menu doesn't give you, it only tells you that you can make mirror, but not two-way or something like this. We will see in the lab in a couple of seconds. Okay, it's so this if you find yourself that you need to know something new. Okay, for example, I thought the PDF will solve my issue on how to create a RAID 10, but actually different menus and different options, so you need to figure it out and try to a little bit to search and to think how to make it through this menu or through the new menu that you see. You have just to work to make some brainstorming. It was simple actually, but actually it doesn't need that much. But because of the menus is a little bit different, so it took a while until I got it all. Okay, here it tells you how to make the pool. Okay, I'm just trying, still searching. Yes, I'm taking 2019 and create pool. Yes, this is another thing. If how to search and get what you need. If you don't know how to do it, search it and Google it and YouTube it. If you can't, if it doesn't seem, or you can't only read, or the documentation is not clear, so you can make it, see it as a video. Okay, now we'll return back to the pool. We have to take the first two hard disk and then we'll make it as one pool. Okay, and storage pool. Okay, now it is done. and then there is other, it's appearing as in mirror 1. This is the first, and then we will make a virtual hard disk. This is not this is not the volume or the drive itself. Still we'll make it as a virtual hard disk, as a container. Let's see. Let's say that, yeah, still creating a virtual disk doesn't mean that you are creating a new volume. No, it's only like a container, like primary and logical partitions. You know, if someone has worked before with the logical partition, if you're working with XP, you know that you have only to make one primary, and then you make something I remember a container. I don't remember the name, and from it you can make logical partitions. Okay, so now I'm telling him this virtual hard disk. We'll make it as a mirror. Okay, thin means that he only use a small partition, or let thin means that if you tell him to get fixed, he will take all the space. For example, if you tell him that you took for this virtual hard disk to be, for example, 20, all the space will be 20. But if you tell him thin, he will only take the space according to the data you put on the hard disk or on the virtual disk. So thin is better because he will not dedicate all the space, because if you tell him fix it, he will take the 20 gigs either you put data on it or not, so it will be consumed without any benefit. If you tell him thin, he will only, for example, your data is 2 or 3 gigs, he will only take the space and leave the 20 gigs free. So here I'm just trying to see that how I can allocate how much space I need. For the mirror, as I said before, it have to be half. For example, if you we have make in the storage pool 2 hard disk 40 gigs. Then when we make the mirror, we take only 20 to be the maximum size. Okay, now this is here where I get confused. Okay, I tell him 20, and then next, yes, and then tell him to create. First of all, I made the right thing, but actually I get suspicious and I deleted it and did it back. But let's first see. Now we have created the virtual disk. Okay, then after that you will create the volume. So you need how much the volume. This will be the new D drive that will contains our data. Okay, he's asking you how the volume size you need. For example, you tell him we need the 20, all of it. Okay, and then give it the letter D, and next you format it as NTFS and then create. Actually this is the right one. Actually I did it right from the start, but I got suspicious, so I deleted all of it and did it back again. But now we will repeat the same for the remaining 2 hard disks. We also right click them or combine them in another storage pool, and we'll make it as mirror, and we give it the maximum size to be 20 gigs, and then we will create a virtual disk with 20 gigs. Okay, half of the space, and then we make another volume. Okay, later we will combine the D and E, will be the 2 volumes. We'll make it in one volume, so don't take in consideration we will have only one volume. Yes, this is the second pool. This is the second pool. Okay, and then tell him yes, next, and take it. This is the second storage pool. Okay, now we have 2 pools. We will get to the second pool, and then we'll create a virtual hard disk. As I said before, this is still, we didn't create the volume yet. This is only a container. Okay, we're working with the cluster or with NAS storage. Okay, you know this concept very well. You have to first to make containers, and then after that you can begin partitioning or beginning creating volumes. Okay, this is description. Okay, and then we'll make as a mirror, and then next, and then we tell him to get thin as I told before, and then we'll tell him the maximum space will be 20. First, the maximum size is closed. Actually, yes, this is correct because you can take all of it to be as a mirror. To have mirror, you have only to have half. I didn't recognize this until now as I'm speaking. If you tell him to get the maximum, this where I get confused. I tell him to get 40 gigs and this was not correct. Because 40 gigs you don't have any space to make mirror. We are 2 hard disk and the total is 40. So how we will make mirror? You have to have only half of it. So now here where I get confused and I deleted the storage. First of all, getting the process backward, first you have to delete the volume. If you are getting backward, you have to delete the volume, then the virtual hard disk, then the storage pool backward. So here when I try to delete the volume, he told me I have to delete first the virtual hard disk. Excuse me. Okay, now, sorry. Here I get confused. So I deleted the volume. Don't do this. Don't delete the volume from the disk management. Delete it from the storage pool utility, not this one. Because actually I didn't. When I did that, an error appears for me that he didn't find the volume. So when you delete the volume, don't delete it from the disk management. Okay, I'll delete the volume now. This is the one that I've created from. Okay. When I go now and try to tell him to delete the volume, still the volume still appears even if I deleted it. Okay. Still confused about it. So the correct order that you have to go to disk, yes, and then delete the volume. Actually this volume is not there anymore. It is deleted. I have deleted it from the disk management, but he still sees it. When you tell him to delete, you tell him failed, the operation failed, because it's not there anymore. Okay, so what I did, that I get again to the disk management and created the volume, and this was I think this was the right step. I have created the volume again and then delete the volume from the utility itself. If we did this, yes, new simple volume, and then make it as it is, like D, the same sequence, and even in TFS, and then I get again to the server management tool and deleted the volume from it. So when I delete it, no, not take offline, this will take offline the hard disk itself. So when you go to at the bottom, get the disk, and yes, try to delete it. This one, yes, from the bottom, try to delete the volume. You will accept this time, okay? And that's it. Then you have to delete the storage, the virtual hard disk. This is the one. Delete the virtual hard disk. So now you have only the storage pool is there. I don't need to delete the storage pool. I need only to make a new hard disk, new virtual disk again. Okay. And then complete the process. Make it back. And as I said before, it has to be half of the space. If you are making mirror, the 40 hard gigs, you select the thin, and then we'll specify it to be 20, not 40. Half of the space. You have 2 hard disks, in total 40, so the space have to be 20. Still I didn't recognize this, and I putting the wrong disk space. It have to be 20, not 40. and actually still I put also the wrong amount, because I thought it's not 40 in specific, it's 39.0 as it was said in the poll. And I didn't recognize, or I thought that I don't have to take all of the space to leave a small space for mirror, but actually this was wrong completely. How we would make a mirror for 40 gigs in 5 gigs. It's very stupid of me to think, but actually still this is because I didn't think it right. But in a couple of moments you will see that I have already got to the right solution. I returned back to the PDF and begin see the the steps, and the steps actually I got from it that you have to have only half of the space, and this was written in the, or it was in a screenshot in the PDF. As you will see, it's called size amount or size maximum amount, and he's taking in the PDF it was 7 gigs. The two hard disk was total of 7 gigs, so he took only 3.63. You will see this now in a couple of seconds. And now I'm trying also to again to create the virtual hard disk as a mirror, and then maximum. This is the second pool. Still I am putting the wrong amount. You're asking me for the volume. Yes, we'll make it another one because we have D already, and as I said before, it will not be 2 volumes. After that, after we finish the storage spool, we will delete the 2 volumes. But first, we have to make it correct. The mirror have to be half of the space, as I said. First, I return to the PDF, okay, and you see in this it's called size. If you return back, I was revising the PDF, but I was returning back and forth, and here in this page, the line that says size maximum 3.63 here, because we have 2 hard disks as total of 7 tera, he only took 3.63 as half of it to be for mirror, and this is correct even if you are doing it when we did in the last lab, or the previous lab, sorry. We took only half of the space. We have also, I was making 2 mirror hard disks and every one was 100 gigs, so we only took 100 as the maximum size, and the other 100 it will be for the mirror hard disk. So when I recognize that, I begin I just close it, and I was trying to see a video, and after I recognize all of this, I begin to make it correctly. I have first to delete, begin the whole process back, but with the right hard disk amount. I will delete first. Now I have, and as I said before, if you want to delete the volume, you have to delete the volume, then delete the virtual hard disk in backward, and I'm just deleting the hard disk again. Sorry, delete the volume and delete the volume. Okay. And then even with, I don't need to delete the virtual hard disk. I need only just to create, but I will delete it because I want to make it from the start. Okay. We have deleted the volume, the virtual hard disk, sorry, and then we create the virtual. Now we are beginning from point A, or from the beginning. We have 2 pools. Every pool contains 2 hard disks, total of 40 for each one of them. We will take the first pool, and then we will make a new virtual hard disk, which will be mirror, but first we will name it as mirror 1. Okay. Next, name it as mirror, and then we delete as thin, and then we will specify the space to be 20, and even not 20 in specific, because the pool is every pool is 38.5, so I told him to take 19 point Actually, you take 38.5 and then divided it by 2, and then you will take the correct space. Sorry, it's the capacity is 39, and you just the capacity is 39. Okay, no, I think no, we'll take the free space. Free space is 38.5 and then divided it by 2. I think it's 19.2 or something, 0.25, 19.25. Just so I don't get confused, I will just get a calculator. Okay, and open it. And then we will divide 38.5 divided 2. So we'll have 19.25. This will be the maximum space we will put for the virtual hard disk. Okay. And then make it as drive D, and then create. So this is the first pool, and then the second pool we will take when we repeat the same process. Okay, and make it as mirror, and then next. Then we'll put 19.25. Okay, and then create. And then you'll ask about the volume. We have made D before, and this will be F. Yes, next. Next, and create. Okay, now we have created two hard disks. Sorry, two volumes. In the PDF, after you do that, we will go and delete the volumes. Okay, as we will see in the PDF. Now we have the D and F. We will delete each volume of them. Yes, and then we will make them as RAID 0 stripped volume, as we said in the beginning of the lab. Now we don't need this anymore. We have already two hard disks in the GPT. Yes, I have also. You can. I have deleted it from the server manager, just to make sure it's correct. I think I can delete it from disk management, but I prefer to do it from the storage because in the beginning I am working with this utility. So when I open disk management, okay, now you will see that volumes are not there anymore. Then we will. Yes. Now we'll make a new stripped volume, and then we will take the two hard disks, and then we will give them the drive D letter. Okay, you can tell it new volume as you wish, and this is the alert as it says. Okay, right click and then new stripped volume, next, and we will take the hard disk. Okay, then we have in total of 20. Remember that we have 4 hard disks. Okay, and now new volume, next. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any step. Okay, I'm just also taking into consideration that he is taking both disk 5 and 6. Now we make perform and finish. Yes, we'll convert. Yes, he is when he is doing a strip volume, you have to convert them to dynamic disk. So it's now formatting, and now they are healthy. This is R. Now this is how we do RAID 10. RAID 10, you have to first make RAID 1 and then take both RAIDs that you did and make stripped volume. Make them stripped volume. It's 1 plus 0. I think the video is finished, but just confirming that they are mirrored. Okay, now we have 20 and have 20. Okay, and then we have the T drive in total 440. Yes, now it appears as 40. We have 2 hard disks, okay, they're appearing as a total of 40. So I think now the lab is finished. I will make shutdown. I think the lab is finished. So the next lab we will install the Active Directory tools and the domain controller, okay, and we'll begin our process of creating users and groups and going further. Thank you so much.